Good evening. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating, is it not? If you are wondering what all of this nodding is about, it is Esther setting forth her agreement and Abraham setting forth our agreement and all of us agreeing to everyone's agreement. We've agreed to have a good time. We have agreed to clarity. Esther is saying, Abraham, I'm wanting to speak clearly your words. And we say, indeed, as always. It is good for each of you to take a moment at the outset here to bring to your conscious mind that which you are most wanting as a result of this co-creating. What you will discover as a result of being together tonight is that you are much more connected to one another than you have perhaps ever understood before. You will hear others open their mouth and speak your words. We encourage you not to allow yourself to feel any sort of lack or frustration about what may seem to be the shortness of time. For it is our absolute promise to you that each of you, as you are clear about what it is you have come here to offer and to receive, that it will be your absolute experience, for it can be not otherwise. You are creators of your experience. Are you understanding that? Are you understanding that you are the magnetic attractors of all that comes unto you? And is it exhilarating to you? If it is because you really understand that you are. And if it is not yet exhilarating, it is only because you do not yet really believe that you are. For it is our absolute knowing that once you really know that you are the creator or the attractor of your experience, that all fear, all trepidation, all feelings of being out of control simply fade away. Once you are understanding that you are the creator or attractor of your experience, you become not troubled with the events of the world. You do not find yourself feeling frustration about what others are doing or about what they are not doing. But you accept your place in this physical experience as the creator or attractor of your experience. And you watch by your powerful magnetic attraction the world begin to revolve around you. And much of the world feels very remote to you and very much detached from you because it is. Because it's someone else's world, it's someone else's creation, it's someone else's attraction, it's someone else's wanting or not wanting. In short, it's someone else's attention, and unless you allow yourself to be swept up in the flurry of what they are creating, you remain detached from it, apart from it. And then you understand finally what absolute freedom really is. As we are here together tonight, we are wanting you, if you are wanting, to find very strong connection with your broader, powerful inner being. We are wanting you to understand the guidance system that is within you. And most of all, we are wanting you to find a very clear pathway to the joy that you have come forth into this physical experience to have. Sounds like a good agenda, does it not? Are you ready for us? You're ready to speak to us? You are clear in your mind of what you are wanting? You will get clearer, you will see. Let us hear from you. Who is brave enough to begin?
Abraham, I've listened to your tape regarding wanting with emotion. I want to understand how that can be done so clear that I can actually practice that. Because when I sense in my own experience wanting with emotion, it's only happened when I've actually realized that it was real, the expectation of it. For example, like as a child waiting for the next morning to open presents under the tree. Because I wanted with emotion, it was like there was a lot of excitation with it. But because there's such an emphasis on being rational, it seems irrational to want with the emotion to the extent that you already have it. How do I?
You will like this very much. If you were to see a train moving down the track toward a destination of wanting, let us say, and it went 1 mile forward and 1 mile backward and 1 mile forward and 1 mile backward and 1 mile forward, it would not come closer to its wanting. You are following? And so what you are wanting to do in order to get your wanting to that place of very high enthusiasm is just not to contradict it quite so much. We're going to take a little bit different approach here, and we believe you will see it clearly. Law of attraction, you are aware of law of attraction. A very powerful law that shines onto everything, very much like a giant magnifying glass, amplifying whatever is. Whatever the current state of being is, that is what law of attraction is shining upon and amplifying. And so if you are thinking of something that you want, in the time that you are thinking of what you are wanting, law of attraction is shining upon it and making it more powerful. It is becoming more. And if you could hold that pure focus of thinking about what you are wanting, law of attraction shining upon it until it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, eventually you would be at that place of ecstasy or passionate enthusiasm. And you know, which is the reason for your question, that once you are at that place, whatever you are wanting comes zooming into your experience. But most of you do not allow that sort of concentrated focus. You want, but you focus upon the lack of what you want. You want, but you focus upon the lack of what you want. And so law of attraction is shining upon what is wanted and lack of it, what is wanted and lack. And so you're like that train going 1 mile this way and 1 mile this way. And so all that is required is that you find some way to stay focused upon what you are wanting. Now, in your question, you have come forth with a very great insight because you are understanding what it is you need to do. In other words, you are understanding that by focusing upon what you are wanting, that law of attraction will bring it unto you. What is the trouble that you have with not maintaining your focus? What would you say it is? Distraction? Or is it some deep-seated lack of belief that you really are the creator of your experience? Once you understand that the law is real, once you understand that whatever you give your attention to, it becomes your experience, then you are able to apply that to all things. And so we would say, paying closer attention to what you are living. And when you have received something that you have wanted, say, I did that. And when you receive something that you do not want, but that you know you have been giving your attention to, say, I did that. I have created this treasure. I have created this mess. I am creator of all things. Because once you teach yourself through the process of life that it is all coming to you by virtue of your attention to it, then you have greater reason to give your attention only to that you are wanting. Process of pivoting is the best tool that we have to offer, which means pay attention to how you are feeling, and if you aren't feeling good, ask yourself what you want and get focused upon that. We have noted that for most of you, and we have been observing you, are you aware? Peeping Abraham. Well, and what we have noticed is that it is easier for you to awaken in the morning and make a decision that you will emerge. I will emerge into this day. Do you know, this is just a little important aside. Do you know that when you sleep at night, it is not different really from that which you call dying? It is a very subtle difference. The only difference is when you die, your consciousness does not reemerge into this body, and when you don't die, the consciousness does reemerge. But the experience of going to sleep at night is the same thing. Your consciousness leaves this physical plane and goes and does other things. When you awaken in the morning, your consciousness literally reemerges into this body, not different from the first day of your life experience in this body. You are literally reborn. And a very important thing to recognize is that while you were slumbering, while your consciousness was not within your body, you were no longer attracting to this body or to this experience. We call it a little reprieve. At time, we're not saying that the momentum doesn't still carry on. But literally, your attraction stops while you slumber. Now, if you will awaken in the morning and say, today, I am reborn. Therefore, I will look for things that make me feel good. It is an even more powerful tool than waiting until you're in some sort of negative cycle that you're trying to pivot out of. In other words, begin your day by intending to see things that make you feel good, by intending to look for positive aspects. Here is a better way of saying it. By intending to harmonize with that which you really are. Did you hear that? Harmonize with that which you really are. Are you knowing that your inner being exists in this place of pure positive emotion? And do you know that when you are feeling good in this body, that what that really means is you are in harmony with who you really are? Do you understand that negative emotion is not the devil pitching you with his fork? That is why they call it a pitchfork. It is not negativity coming after you to teach you a lesson. It is only your awareness that you have diverged from, you have stepped outside of who you really are. And the feeling of negative emotions such as fear or insecurity or lack of appreciating self, that is only what it feels like when you step away from who you really are. And so when you awaken in the morning, if you will feel your connectedness with your inner being, because never is there a time that it is stronger, and say, hello, physical world, it is nice to be back. And it is my dominant intent today, no matter where I'm going, no matter what I'm doing, no matter who I'm doing it with, to look for reasons to feel good, because nothing is more important than that I feel good, because when I feel good, I am resonating with who I really am. I am whole. All of the power of the universe is now funneling through me because I am now complete. And so when you are moving through your day and you're beating up on someone in your mind, criticizing them or criticizing yourself, and you get that sort of donut feeling in your stomach, what does that mean? It means that in this moment you have made a decision to do that which harmonizes not with who you are. And so that negative feeling is your feeling of divergence. Esther walked down to the gate to open it, for her mate was bringing the vehicle. And she stood at the gate and she looked into the sky and she saw it more beautiful than she had ever seen it. It was bluer than she had ever observed, with clouds more pointed. She could hear sounds that she had not heard before. The sounds of birds too far away to see, too far away to hear, but she was hearing them. She could smell fragrances that she had not smelled, and the air upon her skin was beyond description. And she stood there with tears coming down her face, and she said, surely there has never been a more wonderful experience unto all of the universe. And then she said, Abraham, it is you, isn't it? And we smiled a very broad smile through her mouth, and we said, indeed, you have caught us again. Peeping through your eyes, smelling through your nose, hearing through your ears, feeling through your skin. Indeed, we are snatching a piece of the deliciousness of physical experience through you. Now, a question to you is, if Esther had been in a negative frame of mind, if she had been unhappy about something or negative about something, could she have allowed or could she have attracted, would it have been possible, knowing law of attraction as you know it to be, for Abraham, who exists in a place of positive emotion, to have experienced through her? We say to you emphatically, no, it would not have been possible. Not that Abraham is turning our eyes from her, but because Esther, by law of attraction, is not in a receptive mode to that which we are. Are you following? And so when you are feeling bad, what does that mean? It means that in this moment you have chosen to give your attention to something that does not harmonize with who you really are. And as long as you're feeling the negative emotion, it means you are diverging.